Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, John T. Wireman. Hello, hello to you. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for stopping by. We are starting up a brand new run. Hooray, hooray. We finished up the Transvaal, South Africa stream, or run, I should say, last week. And so we get to start our Monday off with a brand new run. In this one, what are we doing here? Kind of a white whale of mine I've been chasing for a while. We are going to tackle the Great Game. Not as Russia, not as Great Britain, and not as Persia. I thought you were doing an achievement. Yeah. Well, so the Great Game presents, if you can get it, where is it? There is an achievement for it called Great Game No Re. Yes. Complete the Great Game objective. So that's what we are trying for in this one. But I want to do it as Kabul. Kabul. And so we're going to try to form Afghanistan and then win the Great Game that way. So we have the new century marks the beginning of a long conflict waged across the world's largest continent. Through intrigue, warfare, and deft diplomacy, guide Russia and Britain, to dominate Asia or lead Afghanistan or Persia on the path to sovereignty. And so with Kabul, we have the fall of the Durrani Empire has left its realm in a state of perpetual civil war between claimants to the throne. Can the ambitions of Emir Dost Muhammad reunify Afghanistan and cement the Barakzai dynasty as its rulers? Absolutely. I'm pretty excited about this one. This is a run I love doing. I've been doing for a while, though I never can quite. In the past I've never quite gotten to the Great Game, but I also kind of lose interest at certain points, which is why I want to do it on stream. I seem to complete runs when I stream it, and so this is when I want to give myself some extra incentive to finish. So we're starting about 15 minutes early here because we got to get the lay of the land. So yeah, achievements we can do on this one. Reading campaign, as always, that's always on the table. A couple of these we can try for. Breadbasket, it's hard to battle Great Shing for that one. Great Game No Re is our big one. And then I think that's the main one we're trying for here. You know, something I found out, unfortunately, now that our South Africa run is done, that this one, our words are backed. You can have Gandhi become the leader of South Africa. Didn't realize that one. But maybe we can do it in this one, since it is available. All right, so let's take a look at our leader. It's also, as always, in the middle of the day. The sun is just way too bright through this window. So bear with me here. There we go. Okay. Let's take a look at our leader, Dost Barakzai. So we get, prestige from Army and Navy projections, and decrees are cheaper. Excellent, excellent. Let's take a look at the government. What do we got going on? So, as always, landowners, vice grip. We've got the Sunni ulema, armed forces, and the intelligentsia. Everybody else is down here. And our laws. So, monarchy, autocracy. It's a typical small country start here. National supremacy. Peasant levies, not so bad. We will keep that for a little bit. Traditionalism and serfdom are the things we got to get off of very quickly, as well as closed borders and debt slavery. So I think the first thing we'll try to do is go for tenant farmers. So either way, we'll probably do this with getting the rural folk in government. We're going to start off with... Oh, not them. Oh, I did not realize. Okay. So the rural folk, we start off marginalized. Did not remember that. Okay. Well, yeah, we can use the intelligentsia. But boy, is that really going to start us off rough. But we got to get off of it. Oh, man. And we... Okay, so we're going to start off with this. We got this guy. An American. Josiah Harlan. Which is actually part of an achievement for... I forget the name of it. I could look it up. It's one of these countries over here to form. Yeah. If you start off with Kafiristan, get him as the leader and form Afghanistan. There is an achievement for that, but we are not necessarily doing that today. But we do have an abolitionist, and we have a real-life historical figure here. So, we lose pop attraction to the intelligentsia with him, but they get political strength, and even more loss of pop attraction. Yikes. So we're getting a lot of political, or not a lot, but a good amount of political strength with him, but a lot of people don't want to join them. Okay. And so now, yeah, we'll start with serfdom, because we can try for homesteading, but that 81% stall chance is just, that's a bit too steep. I think we can, start with tenant farmers and work our way down. So we'll start off with tenant farmers. Now, laws. Where to begin with laws? Yeah, look at this. Look at this. I normally say it's good to start with academia so that you can get a university going and start catching up quicker. But, there are going to be some things militarily we need to do. So we're going to get to line infantry, and then we're going to go academia. And then we'll add in stock exchange for the mappy, though a lot of times that's going to become the first tech spread. So we'll see what pops up. Oh man, what did I do here? We do that. We do academia, and then get our tech spread. And then we'll reassess from there, because we do want to get down to general staff. Buildings-wise, I don't think we have tons. So we have a government admin in Kabulistan. So we start off with some livestock ranches. We do have a logging camp in Kabulistan. That's good. Get that opium. It's not Afghanistan if you don't got opium. So we have a little bit of that. Tea and wheat. And we start off with a furniture manufacturing. Not bad. Not bad at all. The local workforce. Okay. So we want to get we're gonna get at least one construction sector going so that we can start selling buildings for when we get into debt. Yeah, we don't have urban planning. This is true. And so I'm hoping that we get an early tech spread on that. But we can build wooden frame buildings, which normally I don't necessarily like to do because I want to keep the 10 construction points. Once we build a construction sector, we'll only get 2. So it'll get us to 12, but we're starting off with traditionalism. And so the private sector only gets 25% construction. So we'll be able to keep our 10 construction points with just 1 construction sector, though I think I'll try to get it up to 2. And we'll work with that while we work our way over to urban planning so that we can move to iron frame buildings. But I do want to be able to start selling buildings to the private sector for when we start moving towards debt. And we can also get the industrialists on the board. So, what do we have for wood here? So we're going to need another wood. And then we'll get ourselves tooling workshop. That'll probably take a little bit. We'll get one of those. And then we'll build the first construction and another logging camp. And then we'll reassess. Army-wise, 18 irregular infantry, 2 hussars. See, so we're going to be doing some military stuff to start. We're going to be taking over Herat very quickly because Persia is going to make a move on them fairly soon. So we want to get them before Persia does. We need to take at least these 2 provinces off of Kandahar. We need to take Sikh Pashtunistan and then Kafiristan. And then we can form Afghanistan. Though from there we are going to fight our way over to the sea. We do absolutely need to do that. Oh, you know, I didn't even make sure. Sound? Absolutely. There we go. We got sound. We got sound. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Although I guess I didn't need to do that since I know John, you can hear me. So that's good. I didn't think of that. All right. So we've got a little bit in the queue here. We're probably going to want to build a couple more cavalry. At least get this up to 10. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, 10. So I don't want... Am I going to colonize Africa? Yeah, definitely. I think once we get to the sea, so once we take Kalat and Makran, we'll take a look at what we can get over here. Maybe do the typical things of looking at Gaza, doing stuff over here, maybe going there. See, one thing is, especially when it comes to colonizing Africa, I know that we don't have sulfur anywhere over here. Our closest bit of sulfur is Sind. But the British East India Company is going to make a move on them pretty soon. So we'll see if we can take Sind, but we're probably not going to be able to. So getting an African colony that has sulfur will be very, very beneficial to us. But it's going to be some time before we get there because we're going to have to fight our way to the sea here in order to do it. So we'll wait on that. We're also going to get colonization just so we can colonize this. Though this is going to be pretty tough because we're going to be fighting Russia at the same time. But I believe there is... yeah, we do have sulfur over here. But in runs I've done in the past, once you colonize this, Russia takes the colonization rights here usually. So we're going to have to fight them on that. But either way, this whole run eventually is going to get into a fight with Russia and Great Britain because we basically have to push them out of Central Asia here. Oh, and we need a commander. Hey, we can start with an authoritarian intelligentsia. Doesn't give us much in terms of a commander. A mountain combat expert, not bad for somebody in Afghanistan. And meticulous. Well, I hate to say it, but we're probably going to hire Cameron Damani here. Even though he is a landowner. God. And a slaver. But we're going to need him. So we'll start off with him. Alright. We want to get good with Persia. Because no matter what, we're going to need them as an ally when we start fighting these guys. We are going to improve relations with them for now, just so they stay off our backs for a little bit. In terms of interests, yeah, we just have this. So that's good for now. Let's get our decrees in line. So we definitely want road maintenance here. And we'll eventually put it here. We're going to be building stuff there eventually, but not right now. Social mobility, just that all around. Resource industry here, and we're going to encourage agriculture here. Because we start off with a level 11 wheat farm here, so might as well give the throughput bonus on that. Alright. Anything else to think about? Let me dot my I's, cross my T's. Yeah, okay, I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready for the unpause. The first unpause of the brand new run. And we're off. Take the Kabul by the horns. Here we go. So we have a deficit in influence here. It's hurting our prestige, but you know, we're 124th at the moment. So what does it really matter? We'll use that to get these guys up. So we're getting colonization. That's good. So mandatory service is spreading. Well, okay, I guess we'll just get the double benefit on that. So cotton gin. Very good. Get that out of the way. Callie Spruton, hello. How's it going? Hey, how's it going? Happy to finally catch the beginning of one of these runs live. The VODs are great. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome of you to say. Yeah, it's starting off brand new here. So the goal here, starting off is Kabul, form Afghanistan, and then win the Great Game, and hopefully get the Great Game no-re achievement. Though winning the Great Game as Kabul, or as Afghanistan basically, is going to be the lofty goal of this one. So now we got this. Let's read it. Progress towards the left of the bar will benefit Great Britain, whilst progress towards the right will benefit Russia. Beginning in the early 19th century, the Great Game has emerged as a generic term for the conflicts between Great Britain and Russia for influence over Central Asia and its surroundings. With both governments regarding a comprehensive military victory against the other to be impossible, the Great Game has come to be waged through a series of indirect battles for leverage over countries on the line between both nations. So yeah. Protectorate, we got to make sure we're not a protectorate. So what we need is we need to become recognized. We need to become a major power, not be in a European power bloc. And this is the tough one. Neither Russia nor Great Britain may have any subjects or owned states in the Central Asia or Persia strategic regions. And will fail if we have been a subject for 20 consecutive months, so we got to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, the good thing is, at the moment... Oh, let's pause. I forgot. We gotta declare on Herat here. Russia can't reach us. So, as long as Persia stays strong and Persia doesn't side with Russia on anything against us, we're good on that end. Great Britain can't reach us at the moment until we reach the sea. So being isolated here is actually kind of beneficial. Now, let's take Herat before... Oh, and let's take the first save, actually. Let's get this saved. Afghanistan stream. All right. So, sorry, Herat, but it's just gotta happen. Alright, and we'll take that. Thank you very much. A couple of people are gonna join in. Alright, we haven't added in conscripts, though we're probably not gonna call them in. Now, because we're on peasant levies, we can only add conscripts to the infantry. Let's see what our market is here in terms for our mobilization options. So we have plenty of sugar. We have enough opium. Oh, actually, we have plenty of opium because it's just going to be half a unit. And yeah, we have enough liquor. So let's load up, take the forced march. And I think to start, we'll just mobilize and not call the conscripts so that we're not, you know, we don't have to pay for that. But let's bump up their wages. Let's lower our taxes. And let's start charging people for their services. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So now, let's make sure. So who can we get? Kunduz. Yeah, we're not going to need you. All right. Okay, yeah, maybe for now we'll just go down to this because, yeah, look at this. We have a 40% interest rate. Good Lord, we're gonna want to get this up as much as we can. Ah, thank you, John, for the reminder. Yes, I always forget about that. We definitely want to incorporate Hazaristan. Can't believe I forgot that. Especially before we take in the rest of it. So let's see. Quetta's incorporated. Yeah. Kabul, Pashtunistan, but absolutely Hazaristan. We want to get that going. And then once we take this, take Herat. Russia sides with Herat. Yeah. So, look at that. That's interesting. So it wasn't really anything of importance for us because Russia literally can't reach us. So, although so I know this from a long time ago. A couple versions ago, I used to do runs with this. It's been a long time since I've done one. Russia could never reach us, but I forgot that in the last update there is now that diplomatic option to violate someone's sovereignty. So if Russia did that to Persia or either of these two guys, that would be difficult for us. But I guess it's something we don't have to worry about now because they abandoned it. Let's take a look at them. Persia isn't trying yet. Yeah. So this will probably be okay. We outnumber them. I think it'll be okay. So unify Afghanistan. The fall of the Durrani Empire has left Afghanistan in a state of constant civil war between petty contenders for the throne. In order to ward off the encroaching European powers, we must form a unified and enduring Afghan state. So yeah, we gotta form Afghanistan. More pragmatically inclined members of the rural folk, currently opposed to the passing of tenant farmers, have offered to change their stance were they to be offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be popular with the landowners, however. Yeah. I mean, we need this. Alright, okay, luckily it won't activate noble privileges, so we're hanging on the edge. But we will take that. We can really use that success chance. Alright, war has started. We've got our additional logging camp. So that's good. Go us. So now let's get the tooling, the cotton, and then we can add the first construction sector. so that we can start selling buildings. Chief sovereignty. As long as we are not recognized as an equal by the wider international community, foreign meddling in our domestic affairs will remain endemic. We should strive to stake out a place for ourselves at their table, so that our nation does not go the way of old Kharasmia. Yeah, so we're going to become buddy-buddy with France in this run, since we're inherently battling Great Britain in the Great Game. France will always be nice with us. Alright. The succession crisis sparked by the death of Timur Shah Durrani in 1793 has thrown the former Durrani Empire into a period of endless civil strife. With the threat of European powers encroaching from all sides, we must take it upon ourselves to end this period of warring principalities and reconstruct a unified Afghanistan. While appealing to a European great power to assist us in reunification may earn us their support, their opponents will become more hostile towards our goals. So these things will pop up at some point. Yeah, we can get some military assistance maybe. So we'll see which one of those pops up first. Ah, good. We've taken Hazaristan. Alright, yeah, let's get this tooling workshop going. The intelligentsia are happy. We got some migration attraction, but our borders are closed. Yes. Okay, avant-garde. So we get some society research speed. Okay. Military research speed would be nice right now. Can we afford to throw the military in there? Nope. Okay. So, let's move this along. Ooh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my lord, what happened there? We took some heavy losses on that. Okay. That was not good. So they've got 4K manpower. We're still at 11. We should be okay without activating the conscripts. I mean, honestly, I'm just going to activate them, to be honest with you. We have plenty of positive cash flow here. So it shouldn't be a problem. We probably don't need to activate them, but it will also, yeah, create a bit of a market there. Oops. We're in okay, so we're in the positive for grain. So let's set our tariffs here, because I didn't do that yet. As it is, yeah, we can set that there. Grain, hands off our Kool-Aid for that. Generally, I want people to take this and our fruit. Nobody ever wants your fruit. If you want to take our fruit and our tea. Everything else is fine. And we have nothing there. We have that furniture manufacturer. Is there anything we can export? A group of influential intelligentsia led by Josiah Harlan are petitioning for the rapid abolition of serfdom. Right. Yeah, I'd rather take the... So we can do this and risk a 66% 10% chance of losing 10%, but gain 30. I'd rather take the guaranteed 10. What is Persia doing? Yeah, return Bampur. They always want... They're gonna try to take this. You guys. You're cutting into my sea. So all we'll have is Macron. We gotta get down there. Alright, this is much better. How long before we get to this? So it says about 3 to 4 years. All right, what is our workforce everywhere else? So we get a river bonus here. We've got 93,000 peasants there. In Kabulistan, we got a ton. 37,000 here. What resources do we have? We got lead. Look at that. And dye. Here, we got silk. We got lead. We don't have a lot of people, but we're about to get the rest of the state. But no bonuses. And no bonuses here. So it's only Kabuli Pashtunistan that we get the bonus. Halfway there. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Alright. Housekeeping looks good. Farming boom. The encouragement of agricultural development in Kabuli Pashtunistan has led to a small spike in production at our opium plantations. We should look into using this before it goes to waste. Okay. Take throughput bonus to all that stuff. Man, the first tooling workshop always takes forever, which is why I like to get it out of the way early. We lost Josiah Harlan. He's gone. Well, he was hurting our pop attraction to the intelligentsia. Who do we have now? Mohammed Beck, a moderate. There we go. We got it. Now we got, a lot of political strength and a lot of pop attraction. Oh, but negative 10%. Oh my god. So we basically get a net 5%. He's compliant. Alright, so now, yeah, we want to incorporate Herat. A lot of people. Yes, and we have a textile mill now. Ooh, and silk. So why don't we activate this little guy here? Wait, that's interesting. What's the deal? Nobody hired here? Yeah, probably because there wasn't a need for it before. So now that should fix. Yeah, there it goes. Emperor Reynard, hello. Hello, my friend. Welcome. A new alternate history is in the making. Yes, it is. Starting fresh with Kabul. Trying to form Afghanistan. And we have 7 additional forces, which we will keep. So let's just incorporate them into our other army. Okay. This time we succeed in forming a new country. I will. I don't know. Well, maybe I don't know if you saw the last episode of our Transvaal run, but I did form South Africa. I figured out what our issue was. Frustrated with the lengthy legal process surrounding tenant farmers, Murad Hatak of the landowners has approached us with an offer to expedite the process, utilizing his personal connections within the state apparatus. Oh, we got the rural folk on the board now. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, we can afford. Yeah, so what ended up happening after I took the Cape Colony and it said and it wasn't giving me the option, I hadn't realized there was a little smidget of Cape Colony up here. And so technically the Cape Colony still existed, which is why it wasn't giving me the option. So we went up there and took that, and once we took that, it let me form South Africa. So we did form South Africa in the very last episode of the run. But in this run, forming Afghanistan will be significantly easier. Let's take a look at it. So basically, we need to take... Yeah, I know. It was very sneaky. I was like, are you kidding me? So we need to take these two states off of Kandahar, which we might go to next. Hazaristan. Oh yeah, so we need to take this to complete Kabulistan. And then oh, that's right. These two will complete Hazaristan. Oh yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, I forgot. We don't need Pashtunistan for this. So basically we just need to take 1, 2, 3 states here. So let's take these guys. Ooh, Kunduz will be maybe. Well, we'll just take the whole thing. Might as well take all of them. We have the infamy. Actually, what we'll do, we'll see. Sometimes this works. We'll not set this as primary. And so they might just back down. It's that basic idea of give us this piece of land now, or we'll go to war and take your whole country. So maybe we'll just save ourselves the trouble. What resources? Oh, look at our budget. Okay, let's lower the taxes. We can get rid of that. Okay. Early problems. Ooh, return Herat. Interesting move. So how many troops do they have? So they've got like nothing right here. They've got a lot. Now, what are their forces? They do have some line infantry. So their strength is 13 and 13. I should have, I should have waited till we had line infantry. Okay. Alright, so early mess up. We might back down on this, to be honest with you. Oh, we cannot. Because they're going to take that from us. I wonder, though... this was a dumb move. Let's see. So we don't need much on this front to win it. Reload the save. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about it. I want to do it. I'm trying to think. Can I be honest with it? Because this is too early to lose something like this. Yeah. Lesson learned. So what we really need to do here is before we really start forming Afghanistan, we got to get to line infantry. All right. What are we at? June 15th. So we'll go back to May. Before we made that. Lesson learned. Don't make big country moves before you have line infantry. All right. So we'll sit tight as we are now. Can lower these taxes and everything. Lower these taxes for now. Once we get that construction sector going, this will all go down. Okay. I think every run is allowed one save scum. That's what I'm going to tell myself. Oh, we got our tooling built up. Yeah, so we could do it here, but we don't quite have the need for that yet. However, we could activate this. But we don't really need a labor-saving PM yet. And it's not gonna... oh, yeah. I mean, it will increase stuff. Yeah, so let's do it. We'll get our tooling workshop up and running before we need to activate it here. All right. So we'll get that cotton, and then we'll get that construction sector. Yeah, look at that. So Persia ended up taking Bampur. Ooh, so that's... Okay, so we have one shot left to get to the sea. We'll be okay, though. We'll be okay. Oh. A clash of thought has erupted in Kabulistan. Rural firebrands have criticized the tenant farmers' laws for supporting a master-slave relationship with the landowners. Yeah, so we're gonna lose 5% enactment chance. But who do we want to lose standing with? Not the landowners. The rural folk we can afford. Yeah, we'll do that. Because we'll still keep honest work activated. I'm so tempted to just add the second construction sector in now. But I know I should wait. Now, we might as well brand this one our cavalry. Since we already have the hussars in there. Hussars. And then we need to build our main army once we're able to get some artillery up and going. Alright, let's bump up the speed here. So let's get to October 18th. Ah, we've got the cotton thing going. Let's get this construction sector. Ah, law debate failed. Oops. Alright, so let's see what happens as this hires up. Nice. Mandatory service. We can now get enlistment efforts. A newspaper called the Hazaristan Edition has printed a bigoted article about the Uzbek people living there. We can suppress the article or we can let it be released. We don't want any standard of living decreases. We can lose, oh yeah, we have plenty of authority to lose. After a chance meeting in a cafe and a thoughtful conversation, Cameron Damani, our landowner slaver, has recommended that Murad Gokani, currently residing in Kabul, be granted permanent residency. Yeah, I don't mind that guy. But plus 15% political strength. Yeah, let's not take that guy. Also, if Persia attack you, you should revoke Persia's claim on Herat. Yeah, I know. That is the next order of business eventually. So that they don't take that. And to be quite honest, I would like to take Bampur back. I mean, that's a long-term goal. The problem here, too, is I want to take this back. But I also want to be friends with Persia. So I think at some point, not now, farther down the line, we take this back and then we really start increasing relations with them. Or at some point, we just subjugate them. Because we're going to need them on our side when we take on Russia and the UK. But yeah, definitely, we're going to revoke the claim on there so that they stop bothering us about it. Alright, let's get that hired up. With the attitudes of the armed forces towards Khalsaraj growing more apathetic, their leadership has begun to discuss reassessing the group support of the Anti-Sikh Association. Yeah, we don't need to be on bad terms with them. Let's not have that. Alright, so now we can petition Great Britain for aid. So if they accept, they'll be more likely to pursue positive relations with you, and you will owe them an obligation. So we'll get military assistance, which is big. The British Empire will gain 25 leverage. It's not so bad. I think we can afford that. But getting that military assistance will be great. So sure, let's get it. Take that now and... Well, I was going to say deal with the repercussions later, but there's not actually that much. A little bit of leverage we can afford now. All right, let's speed up. I want to get this hired. The landowners refuse to give up their serfs without adequate compensation. Their significant political influence makes this a difficult demand to refuse. So we'll probably dip into negative bureaucracy, but getting plus 10% is not so bad. Yeah, so that's not bad. All right, so we're at plus 26. Still no advance chance. Oh, also we now need to start using the sawmills. Good, they're gonna hire up. What did that do for these guys? Is it still too expensive? Ugh. Alright, yeah. I'd rather not have these input shortages. We'll wait till we have... oops. Something a little bit better. We could probably afford, at some point in time, to build logging and tooling here. Tooling is something you just kind of need everywhere, especially before we get all the our mappies situated. But we do have more important things on hand. Let's take a look at our market. Now that we have Herat. Let's try to export some of this stuff. Interesting, it's not giving us an option to do it in Persia. Are they really just that banging with... Yeah, they are. What can we send them? Yeah, there's not much we can send anybody. Anybody want our fruit? Nobody ever wants the fruit. Tea? Nobody. Maybe some fabric. No. So we can't get a positive one. Oh my god. What in the world? Alright, hold on one second, people. Let me do some chat moderation here. There we go. Well, what the hell is the point of this Stream Elements auto moderation bot if it didn't pick up that thing? All right. Back to the game. Yeah, so there's not much we can actually send out here. Well, we can export these things just to make it profitable. So yeah, we'll send that out. We'll eat the cost of that. Same thing with fancy furniture. Isn't our aren't they making that, or are they not? Oh, okay. I guess that's happening from the substance farms. I'm looking at the luxury furniture. Yeah, we don't need to... Let's not move on to that yet. Because... Oh, wait, we do need to... I'm getting my trade directions all mixed up in my head here. So Kabulistan... In order to do this, we'll need some hardwood. I don't know if I want to switch production. How much will we lose? We'll lose 55 wood. All right, let's wait until we get this next logging camp going. And then we'll do that, because I don't want to raise the cost of softwood yet. So we'll get this logging camp. We'll increase the military. And then we'll look at getting another construction sector. Ooh, yeah, though we're not at our full 10. So dye and cotton. Okay. So actually, let us do the additional one. And might as well just max out wood there. Ooh, we got some wildfires going around. So we got some infrastructure problems. Are they getting it? No. Okay, so just Herat. Alright. So let's bump those things up. We'll let this construction sector finish, and then we'll do the next, or we'll let this logging camp finish and then do the next construction sector. Yeah, we're going to need another general at some point here. Definitely before we hit these barracks. I'm kind of holding off until we actually get to that construction because it's going to put us in a bureaucracy hole a little bit more. So we'll hold off for now. We could... how much paper? We could just do it now. We could just import paper for now until we get our own, since we're only going to need like 10. Yeah, we can get some from Seek. Alright. We can do it now then. Let's import it. Let's switch to this. Now, we should get another general, though we don't have... Oh, wait, it's only going to be... That's right, it's 10 for a new one. So actually, we do have enough. We don't have much here. Supply route cost actually isn't so bad. Armed forces, traditionalist. I mean, this would be nice later in the game when we start doing some exploring. Inspirational orator. It's too bad. I would like to take this guy just so we can get a little bit more power given to the intelligentsia. But this is our better actual military person. And that's more of what we need right now. So, Coandilya, let's do it. Well, we can definitely afford another construction sector right now. All right, we've got the additional logging camp. So let's switch this over, because eventually we're going to be building arms industries and artillery here, so we're going to need the hardwood anyway. So let's get this hired up, and we can now make some fancy furniture. You should suppress the Persian National Movement, which is a secessionist movement. Ah, thanks for the heads up. I did not notice their activism. Yikes. Yeah, didn't notice that. Excellent. Thank you for the advice there. Now we do lose a little bit of enactment time, which would be nice, but if their activism wasn't so high, I probably would hold off for a little bit just so we can get tenant farmers going, but they're actively adding, they're over 50%, so they're adding radicals because of their movement. Okay. Oh, and now let's try to export some of this stuff to Persia. Look at that. Excellent. How many trade routes are we up to now? Oh, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So, oh, I guess we inherited an import of sugar. We don't need that. Yeah, and import it. We don't need to import that. Oh yeah, that's right. And we do want to keep these just to keep the price good. Okay. So we can speed back up here. We can add another trade route for free, so I don't know if it's something we want to just not have. You know, I suppose for now we could try to import some wood. Well, hold on. Actually, I don't want to mess with employment here. Yeah, we just need this to hire up. So what is the issue? What's your problem, people? They're satisfied with their current employment. All right. Well, let's just subsidize it. Get you in there. Law debate failed. Come on now. All right, so currently what we're waiting for is to get to line infantry here. We're going to get that in how long? 14 to 21 months. So actually, I think after we build these barracks, the next thing we're going to build is our first arms industry. And we're going to need iron for that. So start with 1 and 1. And we'll probably need another one. So we'll do that because around the time we get to this point is probably when we're going to start getting this. What are we doing on tech spread on military? Oh, we're getting... Okay. Well, good. Hopefully then the tech spread after line infantry will be paddle steamers, so we don't have to research that ourselves. All right. Looking good. Looking good indeed. Okay. All right. So let's get this underway. Tenant Farmers is crawling. Now it might be helpful. There's no way we're going to be able to get the rural folk in, but I just want to look. Huh. Okay. This actually might be more beneficial to us than having the intelligentsia in there. Let's do that. Because then we'll stop creating radicals from it. Now let's see what that did here. Yeah, not so bad. All right, do we have dye yet? Or is that going to be our first? That's going to be our first one. Now I believe we can't add that to our textile mill until we get lathe, right? Yeah. So not much we can do there with the dyes. Oof. Okay, they just lost their employees. You know, okay. Well, this reminds me of something we didn't look at in terms of and affects hiring is our cultures. What do we have going on here? Tenant farmers. I don't think it's meant to be. It's the first setback, so it's not bad. So we got Pashtun and Tajik. So both Iranian, Turanian, and Central Asian heritage. Yeah, so the Persian culture is... we have a lot, and they're not doing entirely great. Punjabi, not so great. Hazara, pretty good. Yeah, we know about this one. So it gives us +4 here. And then religion. So we have Sunni. So Shiite doesn't get the the negative benefit because it's Muslim, but it doesn't get the benefit because it's not Sunni. But Hindus and animists, they're relatively small. All right. So if we lose tenant farmers, we might move to this, because this would give plus 20. I guess Persian had a culture trait. I thought it was the heritage trait. Yeah, that's right. No, they're Middle Eastern heritage, so they have cultural trait. So they get plus 20 from the cultural trait. They'll move up to plus 30 if we do this. And what are they at the moment? So Persians who are Sunni are at level 3. They're at 45. If they get an additional 10, they won't move up. But, jeez, I clicked out of it. But the Shiites, 20, they'll move to 30. Yeah, okay. So maybe we tackle religion first. Oh, finally, some law debate success. Yeah, they'll gain 15 acceptance. But also, yeah, they want cultural exclusion. So racial segregation won't even make these guys happy. Although, I didn't think of it, but yeah, we'll get a +2 addition. Okay, so something to think about if this fails. Recent investments in Kabuli Pashtunistan towards our livestock ranches has brought into question who should get the credit for the boost in investment. However, options seem to be split. Well, we don't want to give anything to the Sunni ulema. Yeah, we'll give pop attraction to the rural folk for now, because we could use that. Oh, we've got our second construction sector, and the budget is budgeting. Okay, so let's move up to here. Let's add some consumption taxes here. And are we balancing a budget of 2 construction sectors? I think so. Wood is still expensive, though. It's massively expensive. Okay. So aristocrats at the manor houses are satisfied with their current employment. So we're not getting a lot in terms of machinists. And that's our problem. Let's take a look at them. So they're in the logging camps. So they're all in the logging camps. We should have, yeah, we have quite a few peasants at level 5. Acceptance. We don't have a lot of qualifications for machinists. We're just gaining 1 a month. have social mobility there. Now, we can't quite create a university yet. Yeah, in like 44 months, basically. Well, I guess the one benefit here is that it's not necessarily killing us in terms of our budget. But it is going to be a problem down the road. So the aristocrats at the manor houses are satisfied with their employment. Let's take a look at the manor houses and how much they're paying. So basically, 16, 14. What are we paying here for machinists? Yeah. Okay. I think the next thing we need to do is possibly tackle the state religion, because it's lowering wages. Minus 10% wages. So if we can get to freedom of conscience, although that's going to be tough to get to. At least it'll go down to +5, -5. Actually, total separation is just as easy as freedom of conscience. Okay. So let's get this. How far away are we? Yeah, about 11 months. Perfect. So that's good, because once we get the arms and artillery and that iron, then we're going to build our main army and get some arms and artillery going. And we've got plenty of peasants there to do it. And they're continuing to build nothing of importance for us. As usual. Now, what are our relations here? Ah. All right, so we've got some good relations. You know, they do want this. They want Kandahari Bampur. I wonder if we make a move for them. Would Persia... So they probably would join us. What's the thing that popped up there? Law debate failed. They might... It doesn't look like they're going to join Kandahar. And it looks like they would be more sympathetic towards us. Alright. Let's take a save. Not for any save scumming reasons, of course. The usual disclaimer. But I think it's time we go after Kandahar. Alright. The East India Company hasn't taken Sind yet. That's a good sign. Although, no. I said I was going to wait until we got to line infantry. We're like 6 months away from it. Okay, we can wait. We can wait the 6 months, just in case. Because it's also very likely that Kandahar will trade state on Bampur to get them on their side. So we do want to wait on that. What is the actual size of their military, though? Yeah. So we will wait on that. So we can bump the speed up here while we try to get things built. Ugh, man. Yeah. We haven't even gotten out of the first hurdle yet. I'm wondering if it's worth just abandoning now. To outside observers, the landowners may appear firmly committed to the idea of tenant farmers, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now, a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of reform. Yep, this is the end of it. So we'll just take that. Alright. Let it die. Let it die. Yep. Okay. So now that that's done, let's work on wages here. So who will give us the intelligentsia? Well, rural folk, you did absolutely nothing for us. Goodbye. Actually, there we go. Yeah, no. It might be worth, for the moment, going for a professional army. We can start doing that now. Yeah, although we significantly lose conscripts. Alright, let's try to suffer through this a little bit and see if we can tackle this. I mean, this is probably not going either. But at least wages will start to go up a little bit. All right. We now have line infantry. So once we get this stuff built, we can upgrade the military and start building our next army. All right. So now we're tackling academia, stock exchange. And, you know, we'll add urban planning. Are we doing tech spread on paddle steamer? Excellent. And then we're going to finish the rest of this stuff out. But I want to get some universities going here. Representing his constituents in the intelligentsia, Mohammed Bek has issued a formal petition to the Kabuli government for landed voting. I don't mind it. Because we're currently on... what am I doing? Autocracy, which is not great. Though we are using a lot of that authority. So we'll lose 100. Yeah, okay. We could probably do that. Although we can also offer them cultural exclusion. Which we actually have a shot at, and this would be good. Let's do that. Let's offer them cultural exclusion. So I would like to pass that next. Please no landed voting. I know, right? It isn't great, but and cultural exclusion is better. But at least it starts the voting process, and it might be a little easier to get some interest groups in and out. But either way, it's not something I really want, and I'd rather take cultural exclusion, so we'll do that. All right. Right. So we've got our full 10 construction points now. These guys are moving around a little bit, but not doing anything useful. Now, we don't have the industrialists up there yet. We could sell some buildings, but I also don't want to lose, like, our reserves are at capacity. So we don't necessarily want to sell the buildings yet. All right. So we are... Oh, we're not fully hired. The cavalry will hire up. All right. So when we upgrade these guys... So we'll upgrade there. So we're going to need... So 2... So 22 small arms there. And 24 there. So we'll need 46. How many can we get out of 1? Yeah. So we're going to need 2 anyway. What is this? There we go. My B key stopped working. So we'll get 2 of them to start off. And then we'll do the iron before the artillery, because we're probably going to need to do that. Building is slow but steady. But I think once we finish the first arms industry, then we'll upgrade everybody and start making some moves again. At least I'll feel a little more confident in it. Oh, what's happening here? Ah, Persia is going to take the treaty ports. Well, let's see. Are we able to do anything with them yet? Not really. Lawmakers working towards the enactment of freedom of conscience have found themselves marred in a particularly complex set of bureaucratic proceedings, grinding the work towards reform to a near halt. Yeah, I think we'll take the hit to bureaucracy on this one. Ooh, we got quite a few people in mild starvation here. What is going on with food security? What's this? Oh, okay. By the way, there's an upgrade all button in the military tab at the very top of the tab. Yeah, I know. But we don't have the resources to upgrade. So I'm waiting till we get our arms industries, because if we upgrade now, then we're going to incur... what is it? 24 small arms, which we can't provide for. So... once we get the first small arms industry, then I'll upgrade them, and then we're going to build a second one just to level out the prices. And then I think once we finish building the second one, I'll upgrade our cavalry. Because it's going to take us some time to build this, and if we upgrade now, we'll hit debt before we're able to finish this. And we're still at a 37% interest rate, so economically we'll start to spiral. As it is, we're already going down a little bit, which is fine. We have a full reserve. And it'll give us room to start selling some buildings, but it's worth waiting. All right. Ooh, all right. So we're at, what? We're at an hour and a half right now. So, all right, give me a quick 30-second bathroom break, and we will be right back. All right, and we're back, and better than ever. All right, let's speed this up a little bit. We need to get through the build queue, get through some of this enactment stuff. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? A fiery Sunni preacher has shown up in the capital, provoking fights with guards and yelling the most incendiary rhetoric. He is clearly attempting to be arrested and make himself a martyr for the faith. Charming. Arrest that man. Ooh. Ooh boy. So we just take the 10% hit and not suffer the radicals, or a possibility of a plus 15%. Let's risk it. I'm feeling lucky. I wasn't lucky. Okay. You're never lucky on a Monday afternoon. All right. So we got the iron fields going. So now we got our first arms industry away and building. So let's speed that up and get that. Now we're cordial. Wouldn't mind getting a trade agreement. Let's slow down for a second here and see if we can get some type of trade deal with them. Can we import paper from them? No, they don't make any. Which means we need to start making some. Is there anything they need that we got? What about hardwood? There's no real need for it. Yeah, we're already doing that. Hey, well, small arms, yeah. When we get the second one going. Let's take some tobacco. And... prominent members of the intelligentsia, outspoken supporters of freedom of conscience, and close allies of Mohammed Bek have been exposed in a corruption scandal, having exchanged political favors for personal gifts. Reading is very difficult today. Right when I'm trying to do this, we're going to lose bureaucracy. But we don't want to do... Well, yeah, either of these are going to give us a setback. So we might as well just take this one and take the setback and reset without taking any long-term hits. Ooh, okay. Well, let's send it to Persia. And the Sikh, this puts us at a bit of a deficit. But... oh yeah, we got this dye plantation now. Send that to Persia. And that'll get them to start hiring. And now I wonder what that did for us here. So it made a little bit of a difference. Now where did they build that dye plantation? In Quetta. Yeah, so that should start hiring soon. Alright, so let's speed up here. We want to get this arms industry done. Get our military upgraded. Yep, we knew this was coming. So we'll start back with our 15%. We're hemorrhaging money, but we got a lot of money in there. We got a drought. Oh, what's happening here? Bampur. Hey, can we get in on this, guys? Oh, we can. Now, here's the problem, though. We can only ask for one thing, and then we're going to have a treaty with them. Ooh, well. We can get a trade agreement out of it. Actually, I might prefer the trade agreement. Because we can always go and take this. But the trade agreement will be harder to get. Let's get the trade agreement. That'll help our relations here. Excellent. So, we're not going to call conscripts in. Actually, to be honest... do we need to even... sway, sway, sway? No, we're not doing that. How many soldiers do they have? 19 and 18. Well, we don't want to stay undefended. But we're not going to mobilize conscripts. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of freedom of conscience by Mohammed Bek has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the intelligentsia. Okay. Yeah, we're having some law passing issues. What we're gonna do is... Alright, I'm just gonna go with $1 and a dream on this one and take the setback, because I don't have high hopes for this. I think what actually would have been rather helpful... See, the landowners have this vice grip right now. We need to empower some other people. So if we got professional army, we'd at least get the armed forces in there. And actually, okay, I haven't been looking at agitators. We can't get anybody. Oh yeah, we have closed borders at the moment. Hey, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to get anybody in here. Alright. But once this war starts, we'll get that trade agreement, and so we won't have 40% tax waste anymore, because I think most, or a lot of our trade routes are Persia. Excellent. There we go. Alright, so now that we have that trade agreement, actually, let's see what else we can get into our market basically for free now, since this is a land trade. So what do we send into them now? Well, let's see. Did this actually get them to hire? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. And the tobacco... Okay. We're exporting clothes. Ooh. So let's get rid of that trade route. And now, exporting fancy clothes, that one's worth it. That exporting hardwood, is that worth it? Oh, well, actually, we can get rid of that trade route for now, because we're going to really start using that hardwood. So now, let's take a look at the Persian market and see what they got. So nothing helpful there. Although, fish, because we don't have access to the sea. So we'll take that. Ooh, oh, can we export tools to them? Do we have it? We don't. Eventually we will. So they have a glass works that's not making a lot of glass, so let's import it. Ooh, liquor. We do have liquor. Yeah. Nope. Well, that's true. I forget. It's a cultural taboo. So that actually might not be a good one to do. Oh, we don't have any coffee. Alright. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that one. Now, the glass... we can create a need for, at least to begin with, this one urban center. Oh. I forgot we don't have urban planning. Well, then let's get rid of that trade route, because we have absolutely no other use for it. Alright. I guess we'll stick with that for now. Ah, okay, the first arms industry is Dunzo. Dunzo Bunzo. So let's upgrade these guys. We'll start with that. And then once we finish the second one, now let's create our first main army. Oops. For the time being, we'll split the... Can we? Yeah, we'll have to hire new. Because this is going to lower the bureaucracy here, but... Yeah. Alright, we're definitely not taking a landowner, though. We can't afford that anymore. We'll take this guy. I mean, he doesn't add us anything, but... Or, I mean, at least he doesn't hurt anything. Alright, so we'll add... Oh, man, okay. I can't add any more units in Kandahar. Or not Kandahar, what am I saying? Kabulistan. Maybe, okay, we'll hold off. We'll build those two. And then we'll move, when we move to professional army, then I can build more here. So I'd rather do that and keep the cost low. All right, freedom of conscience. You got to get your butt moving here. Because I want to change our army law, and we're going to have to try to go to cultural exclusion. Either setback or move. Alright, 6 months until academia is done. What's this? What's this? Okay, there we go. Yeah, get that moving. When we get that up... Oh, can we stop subsidizing this? Cotton gin, hey. Oh, that's interesting. We're subsidizing this, but it's not showing up on our budget. All right. Well, we can stop subsidizing it. Right. Wow, we jumped up. We're now an unrecognized regional power. So what's our interest rate now? 32. Better than 40. Iron is cheap. Lost alt. Oh, capitulation. All right. Okay, so that means now we have a truce with them. Let's give ourselves a mighty fine save. Can we get anything else on them now? Like a defensive pact? Okay, so now we can move for this. So what's going to happen? As long as Persia's not going to declare for us. Or declare against us. We might as well take this. Right? That's not going to mess anything up. Nope. Ooh. Actually, we will definitely take this. This will give us a land border to China. And look at that. Persia might get on our side. Okay. Mobilize. Yeah, if we could get a land border to China, that would be epically nice. Because then we can start trading with China. Alright. Trading with China. Always nice to be able to do, especially over land. Alright. Hey, colonization. Oh, man, okay. Add that to the list of laws we want to pass so we can start moving into Turkmenia. Oh, okay, good. Whew. Thought I'd lost track of this for a second. I do want to get Persia on our side. Oh, no. I almost forgot. We're not going to do that. Because if Russia decides to help them, then they'll be able to get to us. So basically, I just want to make sure Persia doesn't declare against me. Just curious, so what would they want? Transfer Herat, yeah. Man, eventually I gotta get rid of that claim that they have. Because that's not gonna be good. Alright, this is building up. Are we all upgraded here? Yes, we are. So what is our market here? Ooh. Oh, because it's not hired. Okay, we can't have the input goods shortage, so let's... Oh, because we have an input goods shortage on that. Alright, let's just get all of you guys up there. For now, and we'll figure it out later. Just get us this land. And freedom of conscience, you're killing me here. Alright. So Persia... Alright, so Persia's not going to be on the board anymore. So we're good here. Yay. And it's over. And it's gone. Okay. So let's see what we gained. How many people did we gain? Okay. We got more wood. Got more of this stuff. Southern Turkestan. Alright, so now one step closer to forming Afghanistan. Kandahar and Hazaristan. So we just need these two states, and then we can do it. Are we going to form Afghanistan in episode 1? It's very likely. We just have to wait for the treaty to end. The truce. 4 years to go. It was worth it. That trade agreement with Persia is going to be very beneficial. We could try to start making our way toward the sea. We could definitely take them. And aren't they... Yeah, Macron is a tributary of theirs. Do we want to take this now? Do we? Let's give ourselves a handy-dandy little save. The other question is, Macron is a tributary, so we could include to take Macron. Oh wait, before I finish that thought, let's just see what would happen here. Ah, we can't do it yet. Why? Oh. We don't have an interest in Bombay. Okay. Yeah, and give us an interest in Central Asia. Alright, so let's wait for that interest to activate. Ah, academia, yes. Okay. Okay, so that's done. So let's get cultural exclusion going. This actually looks promising. Because we've got the intelligentsia in the government. So when this is done, we'll get the intelligentsia out of there, try to reclaim some radicals, and then we're going to throw the armed forces in there and try to get professional army, because that'll also help in terms of giving some political strength to the servicemen. Do we have the interest activated yet? No. I forget where you see... Somewhere where you can look, or it's showing you, like, how long until the interest activates. I always forget where that screen is. Oh, well. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's activated. So let's take a look at the projections for the war. Okay, so it seems like nobody's really going to get involved in this. So let's do it. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before. Transfer subject. We can transfer Macron. They'll be our subject. So then we'll own them, and then we just have to work on getting their liberty desire down and all that to annex them. And it will give us, it'll give our market access to the sea, so that's good. But if we don't, and we take over Kalat, they become independent, and then we can just take them over. But there will be a treaty. We'll have a truce with them for a period of time. We risk the chance of somebody just coming and taking them. So I think I just talked myself into what it is I want to do. So you also got to transfer them. And make that primary. All right. Now, what's their total military size? Basically 13. And another 12 25. At the 28. Alright, just in case, we will mobilize the conscripts for this one. Hey, alright. We got... Wait, what? How did they do... Ugh, okay. Well, upgrade everybody here. Alright, so get us that second small arms. Oh, look at that. Okay, so hopefully we can move through this fairly quick. Okay, so nobody is looking to join us. So as long as nobody joins them, everything might be okay. And then, how much longer on this Kandahar truce? So we're looking at 1847, so about 4 years to go. So we probably won't be forming Afghanistan in this episode, but definitely tonight. When I come back and do the night session on this run tonight, that will definitely happen. And hopefully we can take pretty much all of Kandahar here and make all of this Afghanistan. Oh, and now, okay, we now have our land border with Great Qing. So, Great Qing, give us your grain. I also need more tools. You always need more tools. Oh yeah, and I was subsidizing stuff. So maybe we can stop subsidizing that. Ah, well why don't we do this? And now tools are cheap. Works for me. Oh yeah, because I think, does Persia still need that? They do. Export from our market. Ah, yes, you're right. We do need to incorporate again. So we did Herat. So these guys... Well, I don't want to go too far into a bureaucracy hole. And I think I'm going to hold off because once we take Kalat, I want to incorporate that because all of this is Baluchistan. And so if we incorporate it now, the bureaucracy cost to incorporate will be much less. And then once Macron gets added in and we get Kandahari Baluchistan, we won't have to pay additional bureaucracy cost. So I'll wait till this war is done and then I'll incorporate Baluchistan. We can hold off on incorporating these guys, especially since we don't have any manufacturing industry here yet. So now, yeah, we do have the Mappy hit. But everything else, we're not really looking to get from them. So Turkmenistan, we'll get to eventually, but I'd rather Baluchistan get incorporated first. The Kabuli supremacist movement has begun a propaganda campaign painting Persian people as criminals who will be allowed to run rampant under the new cultural exclusion law. Look at that. No, we can lose 50 authority. Speaking of which, how are these guys? Yeah, look at that. They're moving down. Yeah, I know. Slavery band is also on the docket. I want to move to professional army first after we do this. And then we'll take a look at everything else we have going on. But yeah, slavery band would be a good one. And it'll help us lower the power of these landowners. Bizarre people in southern Turkestan are being blocked from entering certain businesses by some local Tajik people. Actually, I think we'll take this, the -1 standard of living for southern Turkestan, because since they're not incorporated, they have a -33% minimum expected standard of living, so we can probably get away with that. Ooh, okay. Now, looking at our budget... why can't I click anything? We can sell some buildings. Sell some urban buildings, and hopefully get our industrialists going. So let's start with the tooling workshop. Whoa, that was quick. All right, so we won't sell anything else yet, because our treasury won't hold it. All right, 50%. Excellent, excellent. Me like it. Okay. All right, we got the second small arms. So let's... Does Persia want any of it? They absolutely do. There we go. I don't know why it's not profitable, but... Okay, so next thing we're going to do, after that stuff finishes, we're going to start making paper. So maybe we'll do it here, in Hazaristan. Because I don't think we can afford any more use of wood here. So I want you to do that. And do some paper. And then I think we're coming up to... Yeah, soon we're going to be able to do urban planning. Stock exchange is moving along, though. Oh, we're getting a tech spread on it. Okay. Then I'd rather just start doing urban planning. And we can let stock exchange happen with the tech spread. So we'll do that. And now let's get down to general staff. Then we can start looking at like the Atmo engine and stuff. So we'll get paper there. After we get paper, let's build a couple of universities. Start with one. Yes. All right, we took Baluchistan. Excellent. Look at that lovely looking country. Okay. All right, Macron. So, let's start improving relations. Reduce subject payments. Macron is isolated from the market. All right, let's take a look at that. Claiming that the enactment of cultural exclusion would affect the country's Punjabi inhabitants in a disproportionately negative way, Punjabi firebrands have riled their communities against the current law proposal. I don't really want to lose more bureaucracy here, though. But I also don't want to lose success chance. Ooh, although I think I might. I don't know. We could use... Let's pause for a second. 5% of Punjabi pops become more loyalist. How many Punjabi pops do we actually have? Like, what number are we actually talking about here? Uh, 177,000. So 17. So about 8,000 people. I don't know. I feel like it's not really worth it. Yeah, take the success chance. Alright, let's incorporate. Now, why is it so cut off from the market? Let me think about this for a second. Probably the turmoil. No, it wouldn't be. Oh, the infrastructure. So let's add... Actually, we're going to want to add social mobility here too, right? Yeah, why don't we take off social mobility here? And first and foremost, we're going to need road maintenance. Then when we don't need the violent suppression, we'll add social mobility here. Yeah, there we go. So now they're fully there. So what did we get? That stuff, okay. And now, what do they have going on here? So we have a level 2 port. That's nice. Some fishies. So we probably don't need an import on fish anymore. Actually, we still do. Okay. Oh, we got a food industry. Oh, we got artillery there. Good to know. So we need to get these guys incorporated into us. Now wait. Why are they still isolated from the market? Unable to connect to the Kabuli market via land, and Macron has no port. Unable to connect by land. Yeah, you can. That's interesting. I don't quite get that. It's not an infrastructure problem. That's okay, that's strange. I don't immediately know why this is. Unable to... Oops, what am I doing? Unable to connect to our market via land. That shouldn't be. And it's really hurting the liberty desire here. Okay. Think. Yeah, I don't want to grant them their own market. We could do this. Because I just want to annex them. That's all I really want. Portugal. Portugal might side with them. I have 13 armies. God, Portugal's always so damn weak in this game. Yeah, I mean... Oh wait, what am I talking about here? Yeah. To a vassal, yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to do this. Because especially if they're losing... I don't get the market access. Why do we not have our markets connected? That does not make sense to me immediately. Ah, they accepted it. Look at that. Okay. But that didn't do anything for market access, which, I mean, I didn't think it would, but... Also, okay, so southern Turkestan also... well, they're... They have an infrastructure problem, but we don't have an infrastructure... Oh! We do! Okay. We do have an infrastructure problem. I mean, I don't think that should be the reason why we don't have market access there, but... Damn, though. Okay. We're not going to be able to rush railroads yet. And we already have road maintenance there. So let's pause here. Before I build artillery there, maybe it's worth it to start looking at it elsewhere. Like here, maybe. Although, it's not an ideal place for it. So maybe Hazaristan. How many people do we have here? 28. Okay. And how many do we have in Herat? 174. Let's see why we don't have any wood here. And what is our infrastructure here? Ooh. How much does the artillery foundry take? It'll take 2. So take 2, that'll be 3. We'll have 3 more. Logging takes 1. And that takes 1. Okay. So here's what we'll do. We won't do that. We'll build the artillery foundry here. We'll hold off on that. And then maybe we can build paper here. So we have 3 more infrastructure. We'll take 1 for that. And 2 for that. Okay. So until we can get to railroads, we're going to have this issue. Well, we need to get to general staff. So we'll do that, and then... okay, we're getting tech spread on lathe. And that'll bring us... Oh, that'll bring us to level 2. So then... Yeah, we go railroads. Atmo engine, mechanical tools, railroads. And then we'll finish off the rest of this. Yeah, because we absolutely need to get to general staff. Although, let's think about this. Do we... Okay, is the priority that? Because once we take Kandahar, then we're kind of done with our offensive military stuff. Then we're just kind of going to be on the defense. Okay. I hate to do this, but... Okay, we'll do that. Get to railroads. Then... Then we'll do all this stuff. Man, this is why we really need to get a university going. And we'll bring this down there until then. Okay. There we go. So that's our build queue, that's our research queue. And so when do we get to railroads? In about in about 16 years. Well, that's why we're going to add in some universities to kind of speed that up a little bit. To speed the plow on that one. All right. So cultural exclusion. I mean, my God, guys. I could actually really use that now. And actually... Now, we're definitely not going after Sind right now, but they haven't been taken over yet. The problem, though, even with taking Sind, the East India Company is going to want it. So we would be kind of inviting a bunch of conflict. Yeah, I suppose we can speed up a little bit here until we get another event. Now that we've figured out our construction and research queue, okay. Now, we are still... It would be good. Is there something we can get rid of here? Yeah. We could get rid of one of these because it's taking some infrastructure. A lot of bait failed on that. How much would it cost to nationalize this so we could delete it? 139,000. Okay. Let's take it and delete it. And now let's see. Nesnake. Oh, hey, Nesnake. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I didn't see. Bro, I'm watching the stream, but since the beginning, I'm learning a lot with you. Ah, thank you. Ah, awesome. Thank you very much. Glad to have you watching. Glad to know it's being helpful. You should rival the Kalsaraj. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Well, what would that do for us? I mean, we'll get a bunch of influence. But we're not really hurting on influence right now. So I'm not really sure what that rivalry would necessarily do for us. So I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. All right. Oh, we got to consideration here. So the next checkpoint, December 14th. Now the problem with the infrastructure, though, is that... Oh, good. Oh, that's right. Yeah. The private sectors won't build there because there's not going to be infrastructure. The other problem we run into here is that as our states run out of infrastructure, the private sector will stop building. And then we're going to incur all of the construction cost. Actually, we could afford to sell more buildings here. So we'll sell these. Or at least we'll try to catch it where we only sell one of them. Well, so much for that. Oh, good. Well, I was afraid we weren't going to be able to get all of the money in our reserves, but we did. So, the financial districts. I mean, we should start getting... I'm surprised we haven't gotten the industrialists. Ugh, you guys. You guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? How do you still have no wealth? All right. Yeah, we want to sell urban buildings to empower our industrialists and get them on the board. Ah, God, yeah, they're ruining our tech spread here. But hey, they're building some logging. That's good. All right, let's see. So these guys are pretty low. The Kabuli supremacist movement. Ah, man. Okay. They're going to be a problem. Because they do not like cultural exclusion. Despite not enjoying full rights under Kabuli law, some wealthier Persian people have begun moving into neighborhoods and frequenting establishments they would normally be excluded from. The Persians are a big chunk of our population, so plus 2% loyalists wouldn't be so bad. So we'll take that. The peasant movement, yeah, we'll empower them. Some shopkeepers have expressed opposition to the equal treatment of Persian people under the cultural exclusion law, announcing that they will refuse them service. Ooh. Ah, man. Well, we'll take the 10. Urban buildings can only be bought by industrialists. I thought anyone could buy them. Well, so technically they don't... Yeah, I know I'm on traditionalism. I have to get off of serfdom before I can get off of traditionalism. So, yeah. Still trying to work on those. So the industrialists they're not necessarily the ones that buy it, but basically who buys the urban buildings are the financial districts. And generally speaking, the financial districts are owned by capitalists. So they increase employment of capitalists, and as their wealth goes up, then the political power of the industrialists class goes up. So, but right now we're getting a lot of like shopkeepers who are generally petite bourgeoisie. Although they are politically unaligned at the moment. That's interesting. That's kind of the issue too. All right, we need to get them all politically aligned. But generally, the wealthier your financial districts, over time, the wealthier or the more powerful your industrialist group will become. Generally speaking, financial districts buy the urban buildings, and where are they? The manor houses buy the agriculture and rural buildings. Yeah, I know. I mean, we're trying to enact cultural exclusion. It's going to run out. There's not much we can do about it. But if time runs out, we'll only lose 5 approval from them. So, but even if it runs out, we still want to get cultural exclusion, so we'll keep it going. Deeply impressed with the current state of the Russian army, key figures within the Kabuli armed forces have aligned with the Kabuli Russian League. Alright, I don't want to get to... Yeah, the military goes... Alright, fine. I don't necessarily want a pro-Russian lobby, but... it is what it is. Alright. Yeah, so we lost 5 approval from them. No, we're not going to increase autonomy. Because what we really want to do is just take you over. So we're getting killed here because, like, so they're getting plus zero .1. We'd lose a whole 1 point if they weren't isolated from the market, and I honestly have no idea why. I mean, being over the infrastructure shouldn't be the issue. We have a land border here. Why? Oh, wait. So this is impassable land. Yeah, no, there is a path to the market capital. So I really don't understand it. This might be something I'm going to have to research after this session is done before we continue this tonight. Because there's nothing immediately jumping out at me here. What's our tax rate currently? All right. Well, we could add a consumption tax, but we need that enactment time. It must be something with this. It might be due to the state that's a land border is unincorporated. Maybe. That would be interesting if that were the case, because I didn't know that were the case. So we only have about 13 weeks left. So yeah, let's find out. Because if that's the case, I didn't know that. That you would be separated from the market capital if the path to your market capital isn't incorporated. I mean, I guess saying that out loud, it kind of makes sense. Oh, good. They're going to build us some tools in Baluchistan. We're going to need that. Okay. So let's speed up and see what happens. Because that would start lowering the liberty desire here, and that would be excellent. Either that or it's a bug. I know. That's what I've been thinking. I'm like, this has got to be a bug. If it's not this, then it's a bug. It's got to be. All right, incorporated. So let's wait for the Monday reset. Yeah, nope, wasn't that. Is it the turmoil? Let's see, test constructible battalions. Oh, are we? No, we still have the truce with Kandahar, unfortunately. Right. Honestly, so once we get this paper going, we could use another government admin building. Yeah, because we're losing quite a bit of taxes. Where are we getting uncollected taxes? Baluchistan. Yeah, that's what I was suspecting. Baluchistan needs some. All right. So our next moves here will get cultural exclusion. Figure out the market thing. Let me do a quick search. And Macron has no port. It's funny it says that, because it does. That's why it's like, it's got to be a bug. Oh. Hold on. We're going to try something real quick. We're going to exit to the main menu and then reload. Someone seemed to have had a similar issue and that did it. Ah. Look at that. It was a bug. It was a bug. It's not 100%, but that's because they're over the infrastructure. Oh my god. Look at that. And so now... Ugh, so annoying. After all that. Okay. Alright. Well, I think we're at a good stopping point for this session. We made a good start here. Let's look at our map painting here. So I'm going to continue this tonight at 8:30 Eastern Time. So in about, what time is it now? In about 7 hours from now. I'll be continuing it. And so in that session tonight, we'll definitely be able to form Afghanistan. We just need to get these 2 states, but we'll probably fight for the whole thing. Make Macron become part of Baluchistan again. And then just start building up the military so we can really start tackling the great game. Yeah, so, alright, so thanks to everybody who was watching. John, thanks so much. It was great to have you on, and for the reminders, which I clearly needed through this, especially all the incorporating. Nesnake, thanks for stopping by as well. I'm glad it was helpful. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you guys tonight. So, see you then.